Hey everyone, it's Dr. Tyler with Thrive Chiropractic Group. Now I've had a lot of my patients in the last week or two let me know they're working from home and that's maybe not something they're used to. They've asked me for some tips and pointers and I want to make sure I provide those to you. Now after the video I will tell you I'm going to go into a lot more detail at the end about exactly how to set this thing up even on your computer, but the initial part of the video will be just to give you the tips and tricks you need to work at home effectively. For a lot of us, this is our current setup. Now let's talk about what's ideal. Ideal looks a lot like this. You'll notice that the eyes are at the top third of the screen. Now, a lot of people say top of the screen. Honestly, I found that it's actually better to be a little bit lower than that because, again, it just prevents you from looking down as much. It's a full-size keyboard and mouse. And if you notice, they're not in a traditional chair. They're in an office-type chair. So those things are very, very important to have ideal. Now, let's talk about your probably current setup. Probably looks a lot like this. I'm in a kitchen chair. It is not the ideal height for my arms, and I have a laptop, so I'm having to look way down, and I'm on this little bitty keyboard. Now, why is this not ideal? Well, for two reasons. One, for me to be at the right height, I'm gonna have to sit on something. I'm gonna have to sit on a pillow or a cushion of some sort to lift me up, because you want your arms to be at 90 degrees if they're down to your side. So, I mean, I need it down here, which means I need to be lifted up. Now, I want my monitor, though, to be up here. I want my monitor to be level with my eyes. So that is impossible with this current setup with a laptop. Now, there are cheap and effective ways to make this okay, and we're going to go over those right now. So the first step would be something even as cheap and simple as a couch cushion. This will help lift me up to where my arms would be at a better height for the keyboard. And again, this for most people will have this at home. I will tell you, a cheap office chair will run you about $50 to $75. Is definitely a good idea, but this would be the free way to go. As you can see now, just sitting on the pillow, I am lifted up considerably. I am back in the chair so that my back is supported, and now my arms can lay comfortably at keyboard height. Now, for $0, this is probably as good as it's going to get. I will tell you the cheapest fix, the one that's going to make it most ergonomic, is a keyboard and mouse, and I'm going to show you why. So, adding just an inexpensive keyboard and mouse can let you change the monitor height, because now you can move the laptop away from you. Now, most people don't know this, but Amazon actually includes with every order a free monitor stand. So this is just an Amazon box. I put it up. You can now see the monitor is much higher at a much better level. Now I just have a cheap $20 keyboard and mouse combo, which you can get at Target or Walmart or Best Buy. And this has made this substantially more ergonomically correct. So this is what more ideal would look like. A separate monitor that you have now plugged into your laptop through HDMI cord or whatever your laptop's connection is. The laptop's now kind of just acting as the brains for this. So you have a full-size monitor, so you're not having to squint at this one. You have a full-size keyboard and mouse so that you're comfortably using your station. And your laptop's now just the brains of the operation. This would be way more what ideal would look like for a working at home environment. So if you took my recommendation and wanted to set these things up a little bit better, you're probably asking how much these pieces cost. Well, again, the first one I would buy, if you could only afford one, would be the wireless or the wired keyboard and mouse combo. Now this one here is from Best Buy. I found it online. It's for local pickup. Price is very competitive. And this is, again, if you could only buy one thing, this is what I would buy. That way you could have your laptop placed up on a box or something else to put your monitor at eye height, and then use the keyboard and mouse at a better height for it. If you were going to buy something additional, the next thing I would recommend is a chair. This particular one is from Staples. It's 60 bucks. If you bought both, you're still under $100 to set this up quite nicely. And again, this, because it's adjustable, will allow you to get a really good height for your keyboard and mouse so that you're setting up well on your table. And again, this particular one does not have arms, because I'm just not sure that one with arms is going to do well with like a dining room table or a kitchen table to fit up underneath there. So I would recommend maybe one without arms. If you were going to splurge, or if you didn't already have a monitor, this would be the one. This would be something similar I would buy. This is a 22-inch. It has VGA and HDMI. Again, you're going to want to look at your laptop and see what the connectors are, and then match the monitor you buy to those connectors. This has both a VGA and an HDMI connector. And again, 75 bucks. That's really not bad for a monitor. You can get a lot of monitors similar to this for under $100 at Best Buy and some other places. This one happens to be at Walmart. And like I said, that would be it. That would be the things I would recommend buying. There's other things you could buy. These would be my recommendations to make your office, for your temporary home office, as ergonomic as possible. Now, if you're lucky like I was, your laptop will immediately detect this second display. However, if it doesn't, if you just anywhere here on the desktop right-click, click Display Settings, see if two displays are here. There's 1 and 2. If not, click the Detect button. If it still doesn't detect it, you may want to try to unplug it and plug it back in. And if you scroll down here to the bottom, it says Multiple Displays. You want it to say Duplicate these displays. That way, whatever's showing up on your laptop will also show up on your main screen that you're using now. The last thing you want to do is change what happens when you close the lid of the laptop. So if you type in Close Lid, what you want to do is do nothing. That way, while you're using your laptop here and you have a second monitor, you can just close the laptop. It can be acting as the brains, and nothing will change when you close that lid. Normally, this is set to sleep, so your laptop will fall asleep every time you close the lid. This way, it won't do that. And that should get your second monitor up and running.